The grand final, Hanamura, game number 1. We got the Raiders against the Saboteurs. Sounds familiar. Yeah, this is actually a rematch from the winner bracket final. So the Raiders, they made it happen. They came through the losers bracket and they won revenge. We are in qualifier number 3. 12 heroes are permabanned. Those heroes cannot be played in the entire tournament. And in addition to that, every hero can only be played once within a series. So, things might get spicy in this best of 5 here in the grand final of the 3rd qualifier. Now, as mentioned before, we have $2,000 of prize money for the playoffs. The teams are currently trying to get to the playoffs by just doing well in the qualifiers, getting some points for themselves, and then in the ranking be high enough to enter the playoffs where they will battle for the prize money. We don't really have a big name sponsor this time, so this is kind of my Christmas present to the Heroes of the Storm community there. Prize money and everything put up by myself. We now have, on our first map, Sylvana's banned out. First map is, by the way, determined in the grand final. Sorry, just ate a snack, and half of it is apparently stuck in my throat. So, yeah, first map for the grand final is predetermined. In qualifier number 1 it was Haunted Mines. In qualifier number 2 it was Blackheart's Bay. Now here in qualifier number 3 we decided to pick Hanamura. And then afterwards it's as usual, loser picks and decides whether they want to have first pick, first ban, or whether they want to instead go for map choice themselves. But we wanted to spice it a bit up on the first map at least. So, yeah, we got Lunara banned out. That's actually wild. Lunara makes it into ban range in game number 1. Yeah. Maiev, first pick for Rutsu. It's amazing to me that people are just simply giving Maiev to Rutsu. After all of the games that they've already played with him demolishing teams, I mean, he's basically on the same level as Ultralisk when it comes to performance on Maiev. Or at least close enough that I would consider a ban against him. So, bold statement, but okay. Raiders came in with a plan, I suppose. They pick Zagara and they pick Rhaegar. I could have seen Dino pick Zagara again. Maybe it was the plan to pick it away, but Zagara as a first pick, I'm intrigued. So, how exactly is that going to shape up? What? Zagara and Rhaegar? We might see a wild one on Hanamura. So yeah, Zagara, Maiev on the other side, with Cassia, with Stukov, so a tether into a Lurking Arm. Always a nice combo. When you properly pull that off, it just feels so damn good. So yeah, Rutsu, watching him in previous games and obviously seeing the same play also done by other teams. Akatsuki come to mind with Ultralisk here. Another big one. But as we... let's see what they're banning. What are they getting rid for on Hazorp's side? Okay, Anubarak. So they have Stukov already. You want to get rid of Anubarak. Varian is of course still available, so if they really want to go for one of these sniper compositions where you get a stun straight into a Lurking Arm, then they can still go for Varian. It's another one of Bad Benny's favorite, so they can do that. I'm still very impressed that the Raiders made it into the grand final again, eager for the rematch. So, in comes the ban. They go for Cho'Gall. Alright, boys, let's go. The Raiders bust out the Cho'Gall. Okay, that's absolutely epic. And that makes also a lot more sense with the Anubarak ban, because when you can cocoon Cho'Gall, you're getting a 2-for-1. It's the Walmart special. So, Cho'Gall is in the house. Now they go for Anna. So, Stukov, Anna, and Malthael. And it's party time. Gia as the final pick. Sven and Johan seem to be the ones to go for Cho'Gall here. We got Nano and Zagara for some extra push, and this just put a completely different twist on it. This explains a couple of things when we're looking at the draft here, particularly early Zagara pick here too. But yeah, that's pretty sick. Hanamura Temple, yeah, map number 1 in the best of 5 series. So let's go, everybody. Samuro gets picked as well. I mean, might as well go all out with this, right? So game number 1, the Raiders against the Saboteurs. It is time for the rematch. Saboteurs against the Raiders. Party time. Azorps on Malthael. The blue team with Dino and Cassia. Rutsu on Maiev. We got Yasuo and Stukov. And Bad Benny playing Ana. Say what again? Bad Benny on Ana. Alright. On the side of the Raiders, though, that's really where the party starts. That's where we have Sven playing Samuro. We have Nano on Gal, Gia on Zagara, Johan on Cho, and Hunter Org is playing Rega. Yeah, this is getting wild. They're definitely going for it. I love that they also picked in Samuro towards the end as well. It's just funny as hell. So frontline Ana now, played by Bad Benny. I mean, you gotta play something, right? But it's still funny to me. So yeah, let's see what Benny can actually do with this. I have never seen him play Ana, so that's a first. Down at the bottom of the map, Cho'Gall is already getting molested by Maiev and barely makes it out there. Yonano! That's kind of an interesting name. I mean, the best name that we of course ever had in for Cho'Gall was, I believe it was in a tournament on the Asian server. And one of the teams there, they had just one mission, and it was one mission alone. And that mission was they wanted to be casted at some point, and they wanted to pick Cho'Gall. That is the only way how I can explain this. But I don't really remember the names that they went for, but the second that they picked Cho'Gall, it was they already accomplished everything that they were hoping for in this entire tournament. And then we came into the game, and that Cho'Gall name was Gay Orgy. Gay Orgy, best orgy. Like, that Cho'Gall performance, I mean, they got absolutely slaughtered, and they probably didn't care whatsoever. I can just picture these guys laughing the entire game and just having a blast because they got on stream with it. So, yeah, it was pretty impressive there. But again, either way, we now have all the way up at the top. Obviously, a bit of push happening. I mean, there's a lot of creep tumors now as well that give at least some vision. You have to diligently take them down, or your opponent is going to run a legal map hack there. And, yep, down here at the bottom of the map, we still have Cho'Gall trying to get a bit ahead. Now, obviously, thinking about all of this, one of the things that you have to try and do with Cho'Gall is get in. By the way, they have a skin as well, just saying. They actually have a skin. So, if you see a Cho'Gall player with a skin, you know something has gone incredibly wrong with this education. I blame the parents, honestly. But what I was about to say, Cho'Gall thrives when he gets into a late game scenario, so the longer they can draw this one out, the better. We have now a double push at the top with a 2-3 split. Sven, Samuro and Zagara doing a lot there. Down here we by now have also the Envenomed Spines. We have for Cho'Gall the Seared Flesh, and for Gal we got the Rising Dread. Obviously, playing around the payload a little bit, at least to an extent. We have also them going for the Sentinels and the camps as much as they can. Azorps can take down some of these extra creep tumors whenever he sees an opportunity. And yeah, we haven't seen a kill yet. I don't think that we're going to get one anytime soon with the double support. Well, actually, now scratch that, because it seems like Yasuo's going to die. They can't get the counter kill against Johan. Instead, Dino's in trouble, and it is Cho'Gall time, baby. Oh yeah, they get two. The Saboteurs are losing 2 heroes, and now the Raiders are opening up that bot lane. Neat. That is actually pretty sexy. Get 2 kills, they get ahead very quickly. And now they can just simply try and take some of the structures out, maybe even play around the payload a little bit. Currently we have Samuro dealing with Malthael on that. But good job at the bottom of the map. Taking down the wall, and then overdoing it just slightly, overstaying their welcome and losing Rega in the process. Gia sneakily just halting out there, alright. So Zagara is already on the move back to Nexus. Needed some mana desperately here. 2-for-1 kills, and another play for the camps. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, what you really want to do here is just like get as many of these as you can. The same applies as usual. They're coming in down at the bottom of the map against Cho'Gall. He's on level 7 right now. That gives us, amongst other things, the Augur Rampage. We also get the Enraged Regeneration. Survivability in general can pick up very nicely with Cho'Gall as the game continues. Once that you have Molten Block on level 13, for example, you can survive through a lot of burst damage. Just buy a little bit of time for your healer too. Gia dealing with the Sentinel in the meantime. And yep, down at the bottom of the map. Still a bit of poke happening. Nothing too insane. They're trying to take over here too. And Sven is escorting the payload around as best as he can. But you always have Zagara here. There's quite a bit of vision that she can now provide. Obviously going up against Malthael means that there are a lot of heroes, him being one of them, that can easily take those creep tumors out. But Gia has been quite diligent about it, always has at least a bit of vision available. And as long as Malthael is not able to match him in every move, he is gonna get his vision eventually there. So, Burning Blade is in on level 7. We also have Massacre. I mean, at this point, when you're playing Malthael, you have the double support behind you. You're going to be one of the main damage dealers for sure. So they can really try and assist him with a nano boost lay down in these fights and try and see Hazu completely pop off in a team fight. That rotation to the bottom of the map is taking one of the structures out quickly, so the fort gets destroyed. They want the payload, but they're losing a lot in the process. I actually think they're absolutely messing up here. They're trying to push, but they're never going to be able to outpush this. And this is not going well for them. Nobody's even heading back. I have no idea what they're doing. Saboteurs are currently completely brain farting this. Maybe they've realized that they just won't be able to play the long game here or something, but they're just giving up this keep at the bottom of the map. Instead, they're breaking through the top and they're able to take this one out, don't get me wrong. But this is a shitty trade if I've ever seen one. This is a really shitty trade. You trade a fort for a keep. I mean, at least both of the forts are destroyed, but still, this is slightly suspect what they're doing here. Hazorps also gets caught and gets killed, so that's another one for the Raiders. They put another point on the board, and now we got level 10 talents. So, yeah, last rites, obviously, for Malthael, trying to make sure that they can take him down, and at least they take the Orcs apart. Well, it's a question of whether or not they can kill Cho'Gall later, but they can kill Rhaegar, and they also kill Samuro. So now we have 2 forts removed. I mean, I guess it's kind of even. The problem is that that bot lane is really in trouble. They removed 2 forts, but they lost their keep. Not really too great, honestly. But yeah, they're moving in, stealing as much away as they can. And Cho'Gall has to be very careful, particularly when Malthael is back, because last rites can murder him. Absolutely murder him. That Malthael pick was probably the best thing they did there. The best thing they could do in that situation against Cho'Gall. And with good last rites, they can definitely crush him. And boah, he gets caught too. Now, yep, that's a kill. And that is also the first cooldown reduction on the ult for Malthael. And if this ever would go to a late game, if he can stack a bit more cooldown reduction, this would of course be Cho'Gall's nightmare. But this was a good start into this at least. And Nano Boost is still up. They're trying to get a little bit more here now as well. Dino dead, but they took the camp away. So the Sentinel is actually taken. That's pretty big. If you steal your opponent's Sentinel away, that's huge. So, yeah, this is going to do at least some damage, and they can now easily fall back here. 4 kills to 4, slight lead in experience for the Saboteurs. Looking at the damage numbers, we have Gal with 16,000, Cho on 10, and 16,000 also for Maiev. And Cho'Gall wants it. Cho'Gall comes in, and boy, oh boy, can he be happy that there was no last rites available. Because if that cooldown would have been back already, that would have been easily the end of the double trouble. So, yeah, survives for now, but still, that could have cost them. So, for the time, we have Zagara roaming the map a bit and is trying to now also get the bot lane pushed out, but there's more camps to be had, and particularly Sentinel on the left side is getting attacked by Dino now as they're trying to claim this. The blue team is definitely starting to get into a pretty alright position here. An early level 13, half a level ahead. They get the talent advantage, and particularly them running, of course, Malthael is definitely putting a bit of a damper on all of the ambitions that Cho'Gall has here to engage into fights. If not for that, it might be a different story, but they're still now hoping to get another set of shots fired thanks to the payload that they're about to get in. And I'm not quite sure if they're going to get interrupted here. It seems like they're actually going to just simply allow this to happen. And, well, maybe not. I mean, Cho'Gall alone is not going to be enough. So, yep, payload gets delivered. Shots are getting fired, and this is going to attack the bot lane directly. So, Keep is going to take damage. all the way at the top. They're trying to go for Sven. They're actually attempting to interrupt him here. And Sven will have to swap his way back in and out. Nice attempt to rush away. Didn't quite happen, but they catch him down here. Or at least they nearly did. Didn't quite happen. But yeah, so bottom keeper's taking damage now. They can still try and follow up on this. Haven't seen any massive fights. By the way, he didn't go for the grenade on level 7. So spell power reduction, we get that, but he didn't go to do anything about the ancestral. So they take another camp here, but hitting Cho'Gall with a bit of spell power reduction obviously is also going to get you quite a lot here. You pretty much get the 2-for-1 effect the entire time. And we haven't really seen a lot of moves from Cho'Gall yet either. Another camp that he could potentially steal away here. And might be able to. I think a team fight is also not that bad for them, because they have now Last Rites back up. Benny with his Ana play here is doing some work. Cho'Gall is a little bit low, gets the Ancestral early. Last Rites is not out yet, so now they can Last Rite pretty much everyone that gets hit here. But the Maw is out. Can they get anybody low enough that Malthael can make a move? Yep, for sure, and Rhaegar is toast. That's a second stack for Malthael. Rhaegar is gone, and even with the Molten Block, they might get the kill on Cho'Gall. Samuro is dead, so is Cho'Gall. They get everybody. They're trying for Zagara. And they might be able to take Gia down too. Get stunned into a wall and kind of saved here by Stukov. But of course, with that top lane getting pressured by the Sentinel, they have now a chance to do damage on the keep. And with 8 kills to 5, that 1 level lead, a level 16 talent advantage, looking better and better by the second. The Saboteurs in game number 1, despite the crazy draft that we're seeing here, they are perfectly managing to contain it. And can now slowly and steadily push for core. So yep, nicely done, well played. Topside keep is gone. And still no level 16 for the Raiders. That's the biggest problem for them, but they might get Yasuo here. Yasuo! And he's dead. Yasuo goes down, not enough heroes here, but they got the keep for it, so that's fine. Cho'Gall in the last fight, I mean, how much did the damage get ranked up here? 27,000, not bad. Gall with 27k, that's pretty respectable. Each team has therefore now lost one of their keeps already, and the final fort is going to be destroyed at the top. The Raiders are not giving up on this one. They made their way back into the grand final to get revenge. They want revenge and they're working on it, and they have some really annoying heroes here. They got Sven with Samuro, they got Cho'Gall, and it is just a murderous amount of nuisance that they are pushing onto the Saboteurs. You even have Zagara to deal with and all the wave clear that she brings, and the push power, of course. So good kill as they are catching Samuro. But they really have to be careful on all lanes and cannot allow for even a second the red team to make plays like previously where they just took down the keep early. It's a 1 level advantage. It's nice, but you want to ideally have a little bit more, of course. So they're playing aggressive, they're looking for targets, they're trying to control the map, and it also allows them then in the same vein to control the payload and try to escort that over once again, which is exactly what Hazorps is currently trying to do with Malthael. Yasuo's taking over so that he can go for some of the minion waves, but this is going to lead us straight into the next fight. And Last Rites is back. 2 stacks, 10-second cooldown reduction. So, yeah, Malthael can become another problem for them. And they're already moving in as 5 here. They're trying to force the objective now. And if they can poke that out a bit, even the Sentinel is chipping in. Zagara is just dropping roaches, Hydralisks. But they get pressured back. And they gotta be very careful, particularly with Nano and Johan taking damage on Cho'Gall over and over again. You gotta be careful, but as long as the Molten Block is still available, they're gonna be fine here. As long as they block the Last Rites when it comes out, they're gonna be okay. But can they win that fight? That's the bigger question. It's not only Cho'Gall that they gotta be worried about, there's also Zagara who is starting to chick in the damage. And we have Samuro who can come in too. That poke from a distance is always a pain. And yeah, they're getting the payload closer and closer. It seems like they actually let that one slide. And yes, nicely done, the Saboteurs. I gotta give them credit for that. They're doing a fantastic job with this. So another keep is now going to fall down at the bottom of the map. But they've been able to pressure them this heavily and make that work. Nicely done. There was a lot of poke, particularly from Cho'Gall, and they avoided all of it. So now even the core is going to take a bit of damage, or at least the shield is getting scratched. But the fight is happening. Stukov is dead and the Saboteurs get murdered. But do they get murdered enough? Zagara is down. Can they get another last rights out? Where's that last rights when you need it? He didn't use it. What are you doing, Hazu? What are you doing? He didn't use last rights. The core is, by the way, falling over here on the right side, but they did not use last rights at all. Oh, I think he could have gotten a kill there. 77% on the core. Shogal wants a kill, but Dino has not... Well, okay, he's down. I was about to say, he has not really given up on this yet because Maiev is still alive. The problem is, with Cho'Gall being this low, they can't go for core. There was always the chance that they win a big team fight and then they just cross the map and end the game. But this isn't happening. So now we have 10 kills to 10, both teams on level 19. And they're getting everybody back here. But I really think there was an opportunity for Hazu to get a kill. And if not get a kill, then get somebody low enough that they can't chase any longer. If he drops his ult on Cho'Gall, no matter what Cho'Gall does, Cassia survives. If Cho'Gall Morton blocks, then Cassia gets away. If Cho'Gall drops low, Cassia is able to also get away or kill him. So, yeah. I think he was waiting a bit too long there. Thought he might get it through towards the end. But now both teams are aiming for level 20. Cassia is of course going to be back. They got a Sentinel down there too. The Raiders are fully aware that they are in trouble and they are trying their best to siege up now and see if they can maybe finish something here. That Sentinel has to fall and has to fall quickly, and it does. Malthael gets attacked right away, right from the start here, but even the shield hasn't fallen yet. So there's an early level 20. They get early level 20 now. Hazu again, low, gets attacked and dies again, no last rights, and now they might lose the game. They're gonna lose the game here. I don't think... Can they somehow defend Cho'Gall? Nope, they can't. They can't. This is game. The Raiders, ladies and gentlemen, with a victory in game number 1.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
It is clear. Battlefield of Eternity, our second map, after it has now been determined that Cho'Gall has a 100% win rate in this series. And that's not going to change anytime soon because they can't play it again. So, we are on Battlefield in the best of 5, our second map, and the Raiders have taken the lead. Yeah, well done. Zagara, Samuro, Cho'Gall, definitely embracing the spirit of Meta Madness on the first map already, and it paid off for them, so yeah, good on them. Now, obviously the 10 heroes that we've seen on the first map cannot be played again. It limits the pool a little bit, but a lot of those picks were already quite off meta. So let's see what exactly the Saboteurs in particular are now going to try and pull off. But, well, actually, now that I think about it, let's see what the Raiders do. I think the Raiders are the ones that are coming in with some special strategies here, more so than the Saboteurs. We have Zarya banned. Yeah, Battlefield, obviously, if you start things off with Garrosh, for example, and then head into Zarya, you can do a lot there as well. Lunara gets banned again. That's actually becoming a little bit of a theme here. Second time that she gets the axe. And our final ban... Normally I would now go for ban Sergeant Hammer. Make sure that she's out. And then I remember, yeah, wait a second, she's actually perma-banned. So yeah, not really a problem anymore. But what do the Raiders do? How many crazy builds can we get? And are they actually willing to commit to any of this in the first place? Now, you could always go and drop some crazy murky strategy. Give me that Octo Grab, and then, you know, Chromie comes in, bam, gets the damage out. Dragon's Breath. On to the point. But yeah, Chromie as a first pick. Also taking it away from Nano, of course. It's actually kind of wild to me still that they just lost. They had Maiev, and they really played well for large parts of the game and brought that back. But it's kind of bonkers when you think about it, because the fact alone that Malthael just didn't get those last rights out, I think Hazu could have definitely used 2 of them. It might not have gotten a kill, but you don't have to use the last rights only when you are guaranteed the kill. That's obviously the ideal scenario, but when your core is getting attacked and you're about to die, YOLO that thing out and just do some damage. The rest of your team might be able to capitalize on it. and get something done. And yeah, that was just wasn't the case here. Now that we're heading into game number 2, we get a more conventional play also from them, with Varian now played by Bad Benny. So they're already teeing up Chromie with the taunt. And we got Urel. Now, with bans, Stukov has obviously already been played. Might want to ban out Malfurion here. Could get rid of Uther potentially. Anything that can follow up with an additional stun or CC is now on the list. Or you get rid of the damage. That's of course another option. So they ban Greymane instead. And allow them to... to get whatever they can do here. But alright, so that leaves us with the final pick. And let's go. Final ban, sorry. Yeah, it's Rexa. Rexa gets banned out. I mean, we're still on battlefield here, so you need a decent side laner, and some of them have already been gotten rid of. We got Urel now at the top. You could still go for Leo, for example. I mean, again, we've seen a couple of Thralls now as well, so if you want to go for a triple frontline, you could add Thrall to the mix. We have seen Imperius at the top too, so there's still plenty to go around in game number 2 of the best of 5. But I would be very surprised if this is going to be an easy 3-0 for either one of these teams. We have Chen and we get Li Ming. So, always love the Panda. Panda is always fantastic. More Panda, more better. And Nano with Li Ming, obviously a great pick now also for Battlefield of Eternity with all the poke that we can get. So it's going to be a mage battle between him and Rutsu, as it seems. The final 2 picks for the blue team, on the other hand. And yep, they go Thrall and they go Tyrande. So we get Thrall, just not from the team that I expected to pick him. Instead, we're having him from the Saboteurs. Thrall has started to really make his way into the Meta Madness meta. I'm not quite sure if that's oxymoron or not, but yeah, this tournament is its own meta, so that's definitely true. We got Tyrande for additional stuns, so that's a huge CC chain that they have, and also the Hunter's Mark, and then last but not least, Uther for Hunter Hawk, everybody. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2, let's go! Game number 2, Saboteurs on the left with Harzorps, on Urel, Bad Benny with Varian, we got Dino and Chromie, Rutsu with Thrall, and Yasuo is playing Tyrande. Over on the right side of the map, it's the Raiders with Hunter Hawk on Uther, we got Johan playing Garrosh, Nano on Li Ming, Gia obviously with Sylvanas, and Sven. It's Panda time. Pandemonium. Pandering to the audience here. Ah, look at that. War Master Chen skin, black and white tint. That's how we roll here. I mean, even the mount works. If you don't go money pick, that is at least a good option if you're playing the Panda, of course. But okay, so with that, the Saboteurs, they want to bring it back. They're obviously fairly unhappy with that last loss. I think it was avoidable, or at least they thought so. Initially, they had some trouble and they brought it back. They really dominated the Raiders for a long time, I'd say. But the Raiders, they saw an opportunity. They went for it, they got their kills, and ended the game. And that's all that they had to do here. Super annoying lineup that they played with Zagara, Samuro, and Cho'Gall. And now in game number 2, the Raiders are going to try and, of course, extend that lead. But it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. That CC chain that the Saboteurs have is extremely dangerous, particularly with Tyrande also adding a Hunter's Mark to the mix. That means that the target is taking even more damage. Nano not interested in the fight at all and is instead working the hit points on the tower down. But eventually he is of course going to be attacked and had to fall back. They might still fight for the camp. It's a 4 versus 4 at the end of the day either way. But the combo didn't connect with anything. The plan would of course have been to poke the targets down slightly and then move in for the fight. But they're taking over and they're claiming the camp. So good for them. Nicely done. The one thing that I'm a little bit sad about is that Rutsu didn't go into Trash Lightning. I mean, obviously going into the Trolling Thunder over here is always a nice one. But if you are playing Thrall in the 4-man, I always like when we get some Trash Lightning. Getting the extra stacking going, you know, it's kind of fun to watch. It's kind of fun to keep tabs of. And in this case, not happening. But it was an option for them since they're playing a triple frontline here. So we have all the way up at the top. Another opportunity to go for a camp, and yep, they really want that, but it also means that there is a numbers disadvantage at the bottom of the map for the red team on the defense side. But it seems like they're still going to be okay. So, yep, Hazo is going to try and buy some time for Chromie to come in. Not so sure if this is working as they intended, but everybody else is also on the way. They get the camp, but at what cost? Because they are losing heroes here. Garrosh is dead, and Chen is also going to die. Yep, Chen is about to fall, so congratulations. They got a camp and they lost 2 heroes. I don't think that was really worth it. Entire team rotating over, and maybe they didn't realize it. But yeah, that definitely put a stop to that. Nano, on the other hand, he's using his PhD in PvE at the bot lane to just take structures down. He just goes pew, pew, pew. Including the sound effects, of course. So, yeah. I can just picture, honestly, Nano sitting in front of his PC, and every time he YOLOs out an ability, go pew. But he got a lot done. He taped the towers down, or at least one of them. So, yep. At least he got something out of it. Either way, we have with 2 kills to 0, the lead in kills for the Saboteurs, but here comes the objective fight for the first Immortal. And yeah, Johan, ay, ay, ay. So yeah, he's dead. It seems like the Saboteurs are on the warpath right now. That is 3 kills for them already. Sven is sitting down at the bottom of the map. He's doing his thing here, all the way up at the top. Hazu, of course, also now coming in and pushing everybody in range of the towers, making it a bit easier with defense. They have already won the halftime show, and now they're working on the rest, trying to take the entire thing. It's a race at the end of the day, but spoiler alert, the Saboteurs are going to win this one. So first objective goes to the blue team in their quest to tie the series, and they will have a bit of a push all the way up at the top, trying to go for the fort here. Level 7 talents, not ready for either team yet. Thrall is on 3 stacks for his level 4, so needs to be careful that he doesn't miss one or die. But yep, he wants with the Frostwolf pack to go for, again, the cooldown reduction and also, of course, the mana management. And if we can lock some of them in here, that would actually be great. There's also Ancestral Wrath, as you should always go for. Ancestral Wrath on level 7. He has another 2 stacks, so only 2 missing, and then he's going to get the entire thing. Hazu coming in with a bit of a flank attempt at the side, and there's the quest completed for Thrall. 4 minutes and 39 seconds into the game. Nicely done. That's already a big step for sure for Rutsu here, so this is going to help him a lot. They also took part of the fort down. So generally speaking, things are looking pretty good for the Saboteurs. They are starting off well into this game. Some extra poke is now coming also against Johan. We have Tyrande up here at the front, and, well, Benny could go for another taunt in a few more seconds. But Johan is already low. Gets hit again. There's the Wolf. Yep, another quick hit. And taunt would be ready now, but everybody already fell away here. So, down to the bottom of the map, the Panda playing this one out solo. Chromie still not making a choice. Not going to Pearl Loop, but instead playing with Slowing Sands here. Yeah, Uther has gone into Guardian of Ancient Kings as his level 7 talent. So gets the extra armor out no matter what happens there. And now we go up towards the top in an attempt to maybe pressure this fort further. The leading experience isn't really all that great. You're looking at the extra XP that they got with the kills, and that's 1,300. But they lost it in minion experience. Uther, though, yeah, Uther is about to die. Now they killed Thrall, so at least it's an even trade. But still, they're pushing in with a camp. Uther goes still healing this up a bit. But now it's a 3 versus 3, and they get another taunt through and another kill. That's the end of Li Ming, but a nice flip from Garrosh, and that ends the life of Benny. Oh boy. Varian did such a great job initially. He looked really strong there. Gets the kill against Li Ming, and then Garrosh comes in and just ruins all of that again by flipping him into the fort range, and yeah, that took him out. So, nice back and forth here between the teams, but look at that, Hazops is falling into the same trap nearly. So they saved him, but that could have been a problem too. I gotta say that the CC chains that we're seeing from Garrosh and Uther and the way that they're comboing them off is pretty alright. Halftime show is now lost, totally free. We have level 10 talents on both sides. No surprises here. Get Sundering again. We also get Shadowstalk from Tyrande. And on top of that, Wandering Keck. Time to keck it up a little bit and go for those top shelf plays. Stun, 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 and barrel to get out of it. Barrel and Divine Shield, by the way. That's the Divine Barrel. Ooh. Yeah, careful, Garrosh. Indomitable already used. There's the stun, Sundering. They're going for Chen. They're going for both of the frontliners at the same time. But nice Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas. That Wailing Arrow might have just changed the battle. How is nobody dead yet, by the way? How has nobody died yet? Does Nano get those resets? Nope, because he's the first one to fall. Thrall is dead. Garrosh is dead. They're killing Gia. They should be killing Gia. Goes into possession. Don't tell me he gets away. Okay, he doesn't. The 4 heroes have fallen, and now it's time to go for the Immortal. Holy hell, the Saboteurs are mad. They are really mad. These boys are angry. 9 kills, 2-3. Half-level lead here. But yeah, that fight was ridiculous. If Li Ming doesn't die first, they might have a chance to get some kills, some resets, and then, you know, just snowball it through the fight. But yeah, not so much. Total chaos in the game now. 10 stacks for Tyrande on her level 1. Chen with 13. Uther nearly done with his level 1 quest too. But it might cost them a fort now. Shield gets actually worked down fairly quickly. Poking this down extremely easily. And over here on the right side, can't really do all that much. Yeah, 1 tower down, 2 down, gate destroyed. And I think even with this one, they might not be able to get the fort itself. Fights are, of course, now coming in. They're trying to make another play for Johan. Okay, nice attempt to go for Chromie, but that backfired. Chromie went just simply for a timeout, and that's all that she needed to do here. Another flip, Sundering, okay, cutting them off. Thrall gets killed, but they want the counter kill, and they cannot get it. Johan is still alive, so Garrosh makes it. Nano gets attacked by Varian, and that's something that Benny has now done in every single fight. He puts pressure on Li Ming to try and keep her away from the rest of the team. Divine Shield on Sylvanas. They aim for Garrosh though, and they can get a kill against Sylvanas. Garrosh might die too, but it's insane how much survivability that guy has. So eventually he falls. 2 heroes have now been destroyed on the red team side. Benny, yeah, I was about to say, you might not want to stick around when you're having negative hit points more or less. So yeah, gets out of the fight. But we are on level 13 talents now, so we have level 13 with the villains chosen. The timeout was already available earlier, obviously. Quicken Blessing, and we got the Juggernaut. And they are now in a spot where it should be a lot easier for the... Oh my god, that could also be a problem. Chen with a keck play to create some space here, but yeah, that was a nice start into that fight with that trap. If they had damage follow-up, maybe Sundering still available, that could have gone south very quickly for the Raiders. I mean, it's already rough as it is, because there's 13 versus 13, so yes, even talents, but you're still a level behind. And then shit like this happens when Uther gets just absolutely deleted. Shows up on the map for a moment, falls into the trap, those stun chains, we talked about them earlier, and now they're trying to take the camp away, and it's a 5 versus 4 eventually. So, yeah, as long as you put pressure on Li Ming. Well, they don't even have to put pressure on Li Ming. Look at Garrosh. Garrosh is also in trouble. The camp has already been stolen away, so they claimed that, and that is going to attack your top fort. Might even take it down. So, yeah, that's another problem that you gotta deal with. Maybe not the entire thing, but still, they gotta give it some attention at least. And on top of that, of course, the objective is already on the map and the Immortal is getting murdered. They're trying for Urel. Wailing Arrow is out, but I don't think that Hazorps is gonna be worried about that. He can easily move a bit farther away and then pop his ult if need be, which in this case he didn't even have to do. Another attack is already happening over here. Hazu coming in from behind, pushing them off. Chromie, they want to isolate her a bit. I mean, Chen's Keck is there, but at least they're getting a kill. Nano with Calamity is able to take Tyrande down and gets a reset too. So they're still fighting for the objective, but now Hazorps is in trouble and doesn't use his ult. I really think Hazu's button is broken. Hazu's R button is broken. The man needs a new keyboard. It's clear as day. Last game, he didn't use it twice. Now he missed it as well. So my man needs a new keyboard. Or at least a new R button. Something's missing there. this is a chance for the Raiders to again turn the game around. They've done it in game number 1, and now they have another opportunity to do it here in game number 2 as well. They go for the Immortal. They're gonna grab this one, and that helps them to catch up in experience, and this is a half 50% shield. So let's see how much damage they can do. We're now 12 minutes in. The Immortal's gonna hit a little bit harder. But yeah. At the top, they're gonna push here. Wall is already halfway destroyed, so there's definitely an opportunity to take a fort down. Saboteurs are still a bit ahead. They still have a slight lead in experience and could get the early level 16, maybe even for defense. But yeah, so off we go. Getting the hits in over here. Good damage, and I think they're going to be the ones to walk away with the first fort. Now, Urel is at the bottom of the map, as you might see on the minimap, so she's very likely going to destroy the bottom fort. But it's going to be a trade there. Oh, yeah. Again, a nice combo from Nano. They have to really be careful that they're not running into these again. But Garrosh gets the Divine Shield, okay. They're trying to go for Benny. And Benny is still alive. Johan makes his way out of the fight. Benny is still alright. Nano jumps in for Calamity Kill, doesn't get it, gets taunted immediately, and then dies. The Saboteurs again chasing them down. Urel has taken the bot lane fort, and now they're going for additional kills. Chen is gone, so is Li Ming. Garrosh made it out. Top fort gets destroyed, and even the keep is taking damage, but it doesn't change the fact they can now easily move in to take another fort down here. And they have, of course, extended that lead in experience as well. Good stuff. Nicely done. So, the synergy with Thrall's level 16 is now also available. So again, he completed the level 4 quest very early in the game already. And now we have him with Alpha Wolf. So he can use that to properly pair that off. Li Ming hasn't made a choice yet on level 16. I was just waiting for Mirror Ball the entire time. And we get Diamond Skin! Alright. I was actually curious as he was hesitating there, but we get Diamond Skin as his level 16 talent. Okay. Somebody is a bit worried about his survivability and wants to be aggressive with his teleport. And of course Calamity. So Nano making a bit of an adjustment. Damage output. We have 46,000 for Li Ming, 43,000 for Chromie. Varian himself is second highest damage dealer on the blue team side with 28,000. And we have Sylvanas battling Li Ming hard for the pole position on the red team side. Still trailing by roughly 5k, but attempting to catch up, of course. And now at the bottom of the map, free damage on the fort. That's exactly what you want, right? That's a nice freebie. 50% of the damage gone for absolutely free. Take that any day of the week. 14 kills to 7. Chromie hasn't fallen yet. But with the next Immortal coming up, this is going to be a pretty significant fight that we're now getting. So, which team is going to take this bad boy? 15 minutes in. Nearly 16 minutes in. What can they actually pull off now? Who gets the first kill? Survivability on Johan so far was absolutely out of this world. But if they get a good CC train going with Benny dropping that taunt, you never know what happens. There's a camp also at the bottom of the map, so there's pressure against the bot side keep. At the top, not much is happening there. Camps haven't been taken by the red team. So the Raiders are in a bit of an awkward spot, particularly since they're still a level behind. They can't just play the long game, because that will mean that eventually they're falling behind in talents and have to face off against level 20. And you kind of want to avoid that for as much as you can. So halftime show is again taken by the blue team. They came in swinging, took this one out, and that puts more and more pressure onto the Raiders. So Raiders with pressure. And yeah, they are poking. And they still have a chance. Oh, okay. Kek again. Heavy engage. Immediately Urel using the ult. Hazu, after all, wasn't trying to save it for the next game. So he gets the ult out quickly. Exchanges cooldown. It's a cooldown victory, obviously, for Chen. Much lower cooldown on the Kek. But making sure that he don't die kind of has priority. They can still poke with Chromie, with Thrall, and they do that from a distance. Even Tyrande is chipping in a bit of extra damage. And over on the right side, Nano is doing what he can to take the Immortal down a notch and reduce the amount of shield that it has. But at the pace this is going, we will still see the Saboteurs with another Immortal. So, yeah, another hit over here. They try again for Garrosh, and he gets bounced around, but is able to survive thanks to Uther. So Divine Shield is in, and he walks away again. At least they get Sylvanas this time, but Johan is fascinating to me. This is the 4th time, I believe, 4th or 5th time that he was just walking out of a fight with pretty much nothing left. So every time he barely gets out, Immortal gets taken by the Saboteurs. Not only did they get level 20, they locked in 2 kills, they got the objective, and that is for sure gonna be a push for keep at the top. I mean, right now we're looking at Eyes of the Huntress here as well. For those extra heals, we also got the Seraphim, we got the Piercing Sands, and we got Windrush. And, well, I mean, guys, Sylvanas is down for another 14 seconds. Shen for 24. Obviously, he's going to have his kick back up once that he's back. But still, this is a disaster for the Raiders. They're going to lose everything at the top. And they might lose the game here. If they're staggered deaths, and, well, there it is, they might lose the game now. The shield is really low, so this is the only saving grace for the red team. But they're losing too many heroes. They now miss out on the front line. Their keep is already gone. And in comes Benny. Another taunt is available. Sundering misses because Sylvanas used Will of the Forsaken to dodge out on the stun. I guess technically didn't miss, but she dodged it nicely. And if Gia hadn't done that, he would now be dead. So, yeah, they go for Chen. And he's in trouble, gets stunned, gets a Divine Shield, but the core is getting absolutely crushed. And yep, the Saboteurs are going to take this one. Well played. They get a few more kills, 18-7, and they tie the series as they take the W on Battlefield of Eternity. GG. Game number 3, we are headed to Dragonshire, everybody. 32 heroes are now banned out. We have 12 heroes that are banned for the tournament. And of course, we have also 20 heroes that were already played and cannot be played again. The Raiders, they started off strong on Hanamura and were able, with a Cho'Gall composition, to take victory, which was really funny, honestly. But then the Saboteurs, they got a little bit mad. They went to Battlefield of Eternity, and they kind of kicked their butt. So, now we're heading into game number 3 with an even score between the two teams. And of course, the big question remains, can the Raiders pull ahead again, or are the Saboteurs now taking control of the match? Also, what are we going to get as bans? Lunara is still getting banned by both teams. I mean, nobody wants to go up against her, apparently. Everybody's just like going in, it's like, yeah, no, Lunara, thank you very much. No need. We have still a couple of globals available, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Haka wasn't played yet either, right? I mean, if that's true, then I think this is going to change on Dragonshire. But, yeah. We're guaranteed 4 maps. So no matter what happens here, it will be at least 4 maps. And that is going to put then the screws onto particularly the front line. Because we are likely going to see some of the tanks. Well, some tanks will probably have to be kind of reappropriated a little bit. Probably Imperius at some point is a bit of a side laner as well. And yeah, we might also see them with, I don't know, maybe Arthurs again as the series continues. Especially, of course, if some of the teams are now coming in and banning out Jojo, as we can see here. Depending on what the rest of the maps are, that could also play a bit of a role. So, Jojo is banned out, so is Greymane. The chicken has also been removed, so no Falstad, no Lunara. Leaves us with first pick for the Raiders. They chose first pick, first ban after they were just defeated on Battlefield of Eternity. And now, of course, the chance to lock maybe De Haka in. Am I blanking here? Was De Haka played? Did I miss something? I was pretty sure he wasn't played yet. That seems like a fairly strong choice now. So they go for Nano with Junkrat. But unless I'm totally nuts, there is no way the teams are not playing him. Kerrigan and Rexa, that stun train is already hurting my eyes. I mean, oof. Rutsu is getting some of his best picks in again, and Hazorps on Rexa is obviously super strong. And then you have Misha stun, Kerrigan coming in with additional stuns. But yeah, let's see how the Raiders are going to react to this. They've of course also used a lot of the tools that Sven, for example, usually tries and pick up. Samuro would be a good one. Vikings are still up, but I don't see it here. And there's the Haka. Thank you very much. I was already thinking that I was going crazy here. Hunter Orc with White Mane. And yep, that gets us into the next ban. But yeah, I was just like sitting there. I was like the Haka wasn't played yet. It was not played in game number 1. It was not played in game number 2. I was like, how is nobody even looking at him right now? So the Haka gets picked. Melganis banned out. That's actually a pretty good ban, because they're really trying to target some of Johan's best heroes. Garrosh was already played. He oftentimes plays either Johanna or Melganis, so banning that away from him is a pretty good move too. They're definitely targeting his frontline pool a bit, and given how many tanks are already out, that's not a bad thing. That's actually a pretty smart move there. So, yep. Final ban. And, well, it is a Nubarak. The Beetle is getting the axe time and time again. And Nubarak has actually been a very consistent ban in so many of the series here in qualifier number 3 now. So, yeah. But okay. What we got on the left side for the blue team, after we've now had Kerrigan and Rexa, they still need the main tank, we still need the support, and of course one range damage dealer at least. This is where Dino is probably gonna come in. Muradin, even more stuns. Get all the stuns in here. Get them all. Stormbolts, Deckard Cain, everybody has CC on this team. I mean, literally everybody. Deckard Cain with some slows, hit him with a stick baby, Muradin, Stormbolt, Rexa with Misha, Kerrigan with the combos. All that they gotta do is now add some extra damage in, and they're gonna be fine. I mean, you can... If you want to have more CC, just drop a Kelthus into the mix, and all of a sudden you're talking gravity lapse and damage. But the red team needs to react somehow. Medivh, I like that, and maybe... Zul. Okay, so main tank Zul, again, we already had that a few times, and they get Medivh, that should help them to save some targets. Not quite sure where they're going to get that damage from, on the other hand. They can save a lot here. Junker does some damage. Can they isolate targets? Like, I'm not so sure. With all of these stuns, Zul can also not go into this murder machine mode where he just slices through the opponent's team. So, a little bit torn on that. But here comes Phoenix. Phoenix as the final pick. Dragonshire, game number 3. The Saboteurs against the Raiders. The rematch in the grand final of qualifier number 3. Let's go. Saboteurs against Raiders. And on the left, it's Hazorps on Rexa for the blue team, as they are hoping to win 2 in a row. We have Dino on Phoenix, Miyazu on Deckard Cain, Rutsu on Kerrigan, and Bad Benny with Muradin. On the right side, the Raiders with Gia on Medivh. Really good Medivh player, of course. Hunter Orc on White Mane, Johan as the main tank Zul for all that roaming damage on the map, of course. And we got Nano with Junkrat, plus, in addition to that, Sven playing the Haka. So, let's get the show on the road. Let's see what they can pull off in game number 3. Which of the teams is going to take the lead now? And also, is this combo working out for the Raiders that they're running here? It's working at least for Junkrat so far. Benny gets dropped down to half HP thanks to all of that. And has to get out of the fight quickly. But look at that Kerrigan combo! If not for the portal, I'm pretty sure there would be at least one dead hero now. Kerrigan coming in and getting the quick double connect. That was scary for a moment. So, yeah, nicely done. Rutsu is already marking his territory. He's gonna peer at a couple of trees or something here. Gets another combo out, and this time they get the kill. White Mane is gone, and this is exactly the kind of plays that we expected from Rutsu throughout this game. So, yeah, there it is. 10 stacks also for Medivh, capitalizing on all of that havoc. And also the fact that, of course, Misha is in the fight too, so another body that he can stack against. But good early game control. Level 1, we get the third wind for Muradin. That's going to help him or should at least help him a bit. And with that, we now have also another camp getting attacked here. 1 minute mark has passed, all of the mercenaries are spawning, and that means that the teams are going to be very eager to lock them in as quickly as they can. With Medivh just sitting there and scouting out what's going on, they might even invade the camp with the siege giants, and it seems like that's exactly what they're doing. So they really want the siege giant camp here and take it away from the opponent's team. Carrigan is now saying hello, but they actually let this one slide, so good on them. Double siege giant camp taken, steal all of it away, get the early level 4, and down at the bottom of the map, of course, the shrine currently changing control a little bit. Rexa is up at the top against Dehaka, has now also the benefit of a camp on lane in his favor, so that's pretty neat. And they already take control, and they get the Dragon Knight. What? 2 minutes and 13 seconds in, and they get the Dragon Knight. Not bad. Dragon Knight gets locked in. I mean, that's an early one, so it doesn't do that much damage, but you can at least take that wall down and break it apart. It also screws with your opponent a little bit. Makes sure that they have to field way more heroes in the middle in this case to defend, which gives you opportunities somewhere else on the map. But not shabby. The Raiders. I mean, it would be amazing if they get their revenge here in the series. But also a big ask, since no matter how strong the Raiders are these days, it doesn't change the fact that the Saboteurs are still the favorite in this best of 5, in this grand final. I mean, the previous events have already showcased that. So, with that said and done, we now have a bit of an ass kicking for Bad Benny as the Dragon Knight comes in and just punts him across the map. Yeah, Muradin is a little bit like a football. It's a bit of mass, and he's also roughly the same size, so you can just kick that easily. Makes him fly a lot faster, a lot farther. Rotations, of course, with portals always welcome. Can quickly move on to any lane and try and take the opponent down here. We have even an early level 7 talent now for the Raiders, thanks to all the damage they just did. Intercession is already in, so it's a good start into the game. It's nothing insane, but getting that Dragon Knight was definitely fairly helpful. We now have also Emeralds, we got the Divert Power weapons, the target acquired. So still playing this with Phoenix, with 18 stacks on Medivh, I should probably add. And Gia is just going full bird the entire time. Fly like an eagle. Coming in time and time again with one hit after another, getting the stacks together for his Arcane Rift. You want that cooldown reduction, of course. You want to make sure that you can dish out some serious damage as the game continues. Misha gets the stun in. They have their own camp now. Up to this point, things are fairly alright for the Raiders. If they can get a kill against Bad Benny too, that would be even better. Carrigan is of course looking for combos now. Rutsu playing this fairly safe, gets the connect, but it's Medivh that always ruins this with another shield. This is the big problem now for Carrigan and all CC chains that they're trying to establish, that if Medivh is playing this cautiously and is keeping his cooldown for the shield ready and available, that he can just simply come in and ruin those plays. So they have to play around that cooldown as best as they can, or they're not going to get any real value. Or of course just simply try and dodge Medivh as best as possible. So 25 stacks, it's all about the camp still, and Gia is just sniffing out everything on the map. Over and over again, checking up on the camps, making sure that he also gets a bit of an idea on where the key heroes are positioned for the Raiders. And they're stealing it again. So this is the second time now that they're taking this camp away. It's all about level 10 for the Saboteurs right now. They're currently hoping to get their heroics there. Up at the top, bit of a drag in the middle of the map with the toggle control on the shrine. We have them hoping for, well, first of all, they're hoping for a kill here, but they're also hoping to take that Dragon Knight away. And that's not good for Medivh. No! Medivh dead, and he just lost all his stacks. He was way above 30, and he is dead. Muradin died too, but still, that doesn't change the fact that this is a bit of a disaster. Now, Dainu is also gonna get murdered by Zul, but they got a Dragon Knight in the process. And with that DK, they can gun now into the middle. At the bottom of the map, of course, the Raiders, they're pushing and they're going to destroy the fort here. So it still pays off to them to an extent. But Carrigan is sitting in the middle, takes the entire wall down. They got the objective. They can do some damage there. The fight at the top between Harzops and Sven also continues. So now we have 2 kills against 2. Leading experience for the Raiders. The Dragon Knight taken, but is now moving away. No ult yet for Phoenix. So typically, okay, there it is. Unfortunate. It's always a purification salvo, and in this case, as no exception. Rexa gets now killed. They murdered Hazu, and well, maybe with the salvo here. Nope, there's the shield again. So Hunter Orc is fine. Gia is paying absolute attention. If not for them killing Medivh. If Gia is able to complete this quest, his Medivh is strong enough as is. If he completes the quest, he's just going to absolutely crush him here. So, yeah, 20,000 damage now for Junkrat, 20,000 also for Phoenix. But it's a nice back and forth in game number 3. You can really tell that the Raiders have a solid chance of winning this entire thing. So, if they can follow up on these kills and play around the objective, get a few more Dragon Knights, then they're in a really decent spot. It's close. It's very close. Half a level difference between them. And down at the bottom of the map, another camp about to be taken. So, yeah, they're doing well here. 70,000 siege damage from Zul. So, you're still roaming the lanes. Still getting the wave clear in. Nobody has really sniffed this out. I guess they're suspecting. But now with the camp claimed, they can push for the bot lane even further. The fort has obviously already been taken down. They're going for Sven at the top now too. Even unleashing some of the ults here. Misha is gone on the other hand. And, well, can they take down Johan? Zul is going in. And, Medivh dies again. Gia's having some trouble now. Medivh died again. Benny pops Avatar, jumps out, and even the Riptide explosion is not changing a thing there for him. So, yeah, Carrigan on the move back out. She's already rather low. Could maybe get a combo off. They're trying for Zul, but the combo doesn't quite work out. Grenades everywhere, and they're all getting away. And this camp at the bot lane is still moving in. Another set of shots fired. Has the shield out. No need, no problem. So, yep. Simply activating the level 1, and that's that. So they have to deal with the camp at the bottom of the map. It's 3 kills to 3. Really nice back and forth game, as both of these teams are fighting for an advantage in the best of 5 series in the grand final. So everybody is just trying to get a little bit farther ahead, trying to make that small move that might start a snowball. Could be an objective, could be a team fight that you win, maybe even a camp that you steal away and then use to push. But they are, of course, all looking to see what they can accomplish here and at what point they can just flip the game around. And it oftentimes happens within a second. For the entire game, you're just playing on eye level. It's a continuous back and forth. And then it's that one moment, that one fight where your opponent might not pay attention and you're able to get 2 kills. You get an objective, you get some camps in the back of that, and then you just go for it. And of course, as death timers increase, as time continues, those fights are becoming more and more important for both of the teams. Top control from Rexa. Sven is not going to get that shrine, at least not without losing some of the lane control that he still wants to hold, particularly with the fort that they still have here. But the portals are coming. Portal is there again. Stormbolts are already being thrown out. There's the Riptire, and it's a double kill. The Riptire of Doom, baby. Carrigan and Deckard Cain both eliminated. Both of them are gone. And now the Raiders are closing on level 16. Check out that Riptire. Have a look at this one. This was absolutely perfect. You get both locked in here. Riptire comes and bam! Both of them die. Double Riptire kill. Now they're going in the middle to take the fort down, and this might have just been that moment that I've been talking about a second ago. Now they have level 16, they have double control, they can go for the Dragon Knight. The 2 kills alone already gave them an advantage, and all of a sudden it is a massive momentum swing in favor of the Raiders. Dragon Knight already moving through the middle here. They're trying to go down to the bottom of the map, at least so I expected. Tihaga isn't here yet. So I guess they want to get the rest of the team around. But with that level 16 talent, they are, of course, a massive advantage now. We have them with the Temporal Flux. Medivh is not getting anywhere close to another to the quest completion, Harsh Discipline, and Weaken. So they're just poking with the Dragon's Breath, as they should. Only question here is really, can they open up some of those walls? Because that Dragon Knight has so far not done anything. Yeah, they didn't really get anything out of this one. They haven't taken a fort at the top. I think if the Dragon Knight moved up there, they would have at least been able to open that up. But that Dragon Knight was more or less a waste. They had a level 16 talent advantage and a Dragon Knight, and they didn't get a lot, if anything. So, controlled the mid lane nicely, but not much more than that. Could have at least taken the top fort out, I suppose. Down at the bottom of the map, though, they try to go for Rutsu. Yeah, and they cannot force the fight yet. Blue team has not given up yet. Neither should they. But yeah, here comes Gia and gets the hits out. The shield is always there. Always with that shield. Riptire again, coming in once more. 5 kills to 3. Not really a kill-heavy game, but definitely a very tense one. As teams are just eyeing any opportunity to get an advantage here. And again, at the end of the day, when you're thinking about it, it's currently still looking good for the Raiders. So they are the ones much closer to locking in a second victory in this best-of-5 series than the Saboteurs, who came in as the favorite. I mean, they were also the team that made it into the grand final through the winner's bracket. But they are definitely behind in experience, in structures. And now we have a double camp at the bot lane set up. And only 1.5 levels until Storm Talons are available for the Raiders. 1.5 levels is all they need. The problem at the same time is obviously, what do you do with that Storm Talon when you have it? Earlier they had the Dragon Knight and didn't do a lot. So they need a bit more. I think a bit of a team fight would also be neat. Yeah, Portal's always threatening them here. And can they do a bit more over on the right side? Yeah, we got the next camps in. Okay. Down at the bottom of the map, Phoenix has to defend, and does, which means that up at the top, the fort is a bit vulnerable. So they're trying for it. But they're really hesitant. They don't want to engage too heavily into any of these fights, and on the one hand, I don't blame them. On the other hand, you have to take your fight at some point. Now, Phoenix is back up. You still have the portals, and they're moving away from them. They're probably happy to just wait for level 20 before they're going for any big move, but eventually you just have to face the music and make something happen. The more time you give the Saboteurs to come back into the game, the more this is going to backfire for you. I can already tell you that much. They are going to take you to town if you are giving them a chance to fight on even talents again. With level 20 in particular, yeah, you could run into some trouble. So Ring Around the Rosie plays on those shrines. One is already in. And off we go. 20 is nearly there. So, level 20, Storm Talons. And that gives us Medivh cheating. We got the extra oomph. We got the Apex Predator, Scarlet Crusade. So yeah, here's the opportunity. That's the chance that they have to now come in and really force the issue. You want to fight with 20 talents. They already used Medivh's ult, and they still can't force the fight. Medivh's ult is so nice to set this up. They can at least get a Dragon Knight, I guess, but this time they have to also put it to some use. Because they didn't really get a whole lot done with the last one that they locked in. And they had a talent advantage at that time as well. So if you really want to make something happen, then do it now. Focus and go in, commit, and take that keep out. You have a level 20 advantage and you have a Dragon Knight. I mean, what more do you want? This is about as good as it gets. If you ever siege up at your opponent's keep, then this is the moment where you gotta go for. So, yeah. With that, we got now a big lead for them. They're going to chunk this one down, or at least they should. The Haka isn't here yet, though. So with Rexa arriving, it's a 5 versus 4 for a few more seconds. And they're already falling back. They haven't even gotten half the HP of the keep. Yeah. So once again, the pokes are happening. Misha gets destroyed too. And, well, I don't think they can get that keep. This is starting to become a thing. The Raiders are really struggling to capitalize on the good plays that they make. They're making decent moves, they're getting objectives, and then they just don't do anything with it. I mean, think about what just happened here. This is the second Dragonite in the row now for the Raiders, and both times they had a talent advantage, and the only thing that they essentially got is the bottom wall and half the HP of the keep. 2 objectives with a talent advantage, and that's all that they got. Now, at least this time, they have Sven at the top to do some damage against the fort as well, but here's level 20 now for the Saboteurs. And I don't think that you have to give the Saboteurs this many opportunities. So, yep, they're going for Sven, they're getting a kill, and now they have a 5 versus 4 on the map. Question is simply, what are they going to do with that now? They have not taken out a single fort yet. There's very little on the map that they can take. There's not a lot of mercenary camps, for example, that they can claim. This is literally the only one that's still remaining. Muradin wants it, but he doesn't get it. The control of Junkrat is too much. And so, yeah. Now it's just a question of what else can you take. They go for the bottom that has just respawned, so there's at least one bruiser camp that they can go for. But that kill didn't really help them a whole lot. If the objective was active, that would have been really different. But maybe now with this, they can go for the bottom fort. You always want to capitalize. Every single time that you're taking an advantage over your opponent, you want to capitalize on that situation. And that's what they're doing now. So they're coming in, trying to attack again, trying to take that fort down. There's the combo, just as the portal came in. And they are taking that fort. So yes, they are getting something done here. Benny's a bit low. There's also straight the ult from Phoenix again. This time it does a bit more damage. Benny jumps away from the Riptire, which saves the day for him. And they're taking the fort out. Saboteurs, 1 kill is all they needed, and they're taking camps and structures. This is exactly how you should play this. So they're equalizing the situation on the bot lane. Medivh has 20 stacks, still working on it, still working on the baseline. And yeah, it's 4 kills to 5 now. 4 kills to 5. We're getting also the Singularity Charge, Respect the Elderly, the kill command, and here comes the next Dragonite. Yeah, we're 18 minutes into the game. 18 minutes into game number 3. Gia still hovering above them. Still trying to figure out the exact position and making sure that the team is not having any problems with this. That they are not getting blindsided by Muradin dropping a Stormbolt over them. By Kerrigan jumping out of a bush, unleashing a combo. But somebody has to eventually step it up. I mean, someone is going to crack here. The question is just which team. There is an avenue now at the bottom of the map. And with 18 minutes on the clock, Dragonites are of course going to start to hit harder and harder and harder. Control at the bottom of the map is already being taken. So the blue team is now starting to take over a bit down here. Kerrigan has it. Kerrigan is, by the way, only at 16,000 damage. It's not really a whole lot for Rutsu. Then again, you look at the siege damage, and that's a completely different story. Commitment at the top, finally. Seems like with Kerrigan visible at the bottom of the map, they want to force the fight before anything else happens. But Zul low, eats the Stormbolt. Second one comes in. Used Rewind, still gets saved here. Zul is still alive. How on God's green earth is he not dead? They go for Gia and he dies again. 25, 26 stacks and he's down once more. Another attempted play, this time for Deckard Cain, and he dies too. They're exchanging kills over and over again. Another drag from the Haka as they're trying to follow up with a second. Benny able to jump out after he gets booped onto the Bridge of Death. And now they're on their way into the middle with Misha already taking over at the top. This is going to be a Dragonite. This has to be a Dragonite. Yep. Oh no, the Haka interrupts with a lick, saving the day. Does he? Muradin is jumping in. They want him, and they should be able to get him, but the combo completely misses. And now Zul is taken over up at the top. Misha is trying to reclaim, and will. So now Muradin is able to go for the Dragonite, and this time nobody's going to interrupt, unless one of those bowmen gets cheeky. Oh, the catapult nearly interrupted him. That would have been epic. Hero Catapult comes in and interrupts Muradin as he's trying to grab the Dragonite. That would have been fantastic. But yeah, so they're going for the top fort and they're going for the middle. And this is exactly how you should play this. They are doing damage, guys. They are all of a sudden the ones to come in and really just wreck these structures. The fort in the middle is destroyed. The fort at the top is destroyed. This is how you build on advantages that you get. They are ahead in structures. The Raiders have dominated this game for a long time. They were always a level ahead. They were for most of it a talent ahead. They got 2 Dragon Knights, and just with one objective, the Saboteurs now turn it around and have taken the lead on structures. That's where we're at right now. And they're even destroying the wall in the middle. Now, it's made a bit easier by the Dragon Knight obviously scaling properly, so that helps. Nice Riptire straight into the face of Rexar. Yeah, big explosion. Respect the elderly. I don't think they're respecting Yasuo. Nah, this looks more like they're going to try and take him down. So, there's the double kill. Maybe now an opportunity for the Raiders to finally show, alright, we can still do something here. The fort at the top still isn't destroyed, but where are they going? Yeah, of course, they're going for mercenary camps. There's mercenary camps of the map. We gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all. So, they're going for the siege giants here, for all of them, I suppose. Are they timing them? No, they're not. It has to be a bottom keep that they're taking. I mean, anything else but a bottom keep that gets destroyed would be just embarrassing. So, yeah, siege giants are there. Zul is already trying to go for the camp. Slices away, and now they have 3 mercenary camps. It's one of the reasons, by the way, why this bot lane is so important, because it can stack so many camps up. So the keep is gone. Question is simple. Really? Alright, I thought they would at least like try to go for core. Not because they thought they can actually take it, but because they were hoping that maybe somebody steps up a bit too much and gets killed then. Dehaka, top keep, top fort. Yep, thank you. Alright, so this is looking a little bit better. Finally, they got something done. Can always argue if they should have been able to do a bit more than what they just did, but still, this counts. So, what we have is the Raiders with an opportunity. They have taken the bottom keep out. And we have 8 kills to 5. Damage output, 80,000 for Zul. 80,000. Top damage in the game. Hasn't died yet. Junkrat on 71,000. Second hero in the game that hasn't fallen yet. Those are the only 2. And we got 73,000 from Phoenix. Woo! Alright, alright. Yeah, we're definitely in for a bit of a treat. I mean, we're now 23 minutes in. We're on level 23 or 24. So, yeah, next objective is gonna pop up. But it's all about kill opportunities now. And now death timers are, of course, at a maximum here. And the question that you always gotta ask yourself is, if you lose a hero now, how are you gonna recover? Stormbolt connects. They always got rewind for another one if they want to follow up with a second. And they can. Riptire's out. Cooldown's being used. Carrigan. Combo. Nice. Not good enough though. The drag from the Haka against Yasuo and the isolation. Deckard, Kane in some trouble. They're forcing the Haka back, but the kill still happens. Yep, they get Muradin and they want more. Muradin is gone. There's a camp at the top, and where are you headed now? They take Misha down and they're going for the Dragon Knight. They want to get another DK, and with that they have to go for game. Which means that the blue team is forced to prevent this from happening. They are going to the top lane. They want to prevent it right here. Medivh could get it in the middle, and yep, he's here already. No! Gia, take this thing. For the love of God. Gia takes it, and they lose Zul. No! Zul is lost. Yeah, top side is getting attacked a bit, but the Dragon Knight is now on the way. And they're preventing them from hearthing. So they have to walk. They gotta walk back, and they also gotta protect Rexar. And the Dragon Knight, I don't know if they can actually end that game. Not like that. No, you gotta be kidding me. Are you serious? He walks through the fort, takes the damage, tries to punt Phoenix. Phoenix warps away, runs back into the keep. Insane. They're not getting any... They're not trying to win the game here. The objective is absolutely meaningless for the Raiders. They are not able to do any damage with the objective. None whatsoever. We are 25 minutes into this game. Nearly 26. Zul isn't back. Medivh is getting attacked, has the ley line out. They're playing a 5 versus 4 here for a moment. At the bottom of the map, at least, there's catapults that are now marching towards the core, so that's good news, I suppose. Because those catapults are hitting like a truck. They are relying on Winions. The Winions are gonna win the game. When the Winions are stronger than the actual team. Look at this. The catapults, they needed one try and they have the core down to 69%. Nice. Whereas the heroes themselves are just not able to do anything. It's kind of crazy. They go for the fight again. Camp gets claimed by the blue team. They've lost a lot of percentage points on their core. But this is not over yet. Yeah, they go again for Phoenix and he gets out. Did not go into the Unconquered Spirit, by the way. Just as a bit of a side note. So if he actually dies, he's gone. But yeah, it's so amusing to me. Like, 3 Dragon Knights weren't able to accomplish that. 3 Dragon Knights were not able to pull this off. But a couple of catapults that make it onto the core, they easily chunk it down. Late in the game, of course, but still. 14 stacks for Medivh. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's going to be able, you know, to grab that quest at some point regardless. Now, the Saboteurs, I think they're now trying to push for the bottom keep. And the Haka, he went towards the top. Bridge of Death, baby. Protects the catapult. Yeah, is there a second one coming in? No. But if he can protect the catapult, that would actually be quite nice. Because that catapult is doing a lot of damage now. 27 minutes into the game. Oh yeah, you can take that keep down. You can take that top keep. Uh-huh. I mean, look at it. They might exchange keeps here. They might not, because the defense at the bottom of the map is still working. So the Saboteurs are still losing ground. I cannot believe that they're not taking that top keep. Alright, there's Zul. He's gone. Top keep is still in play. Mid keep is losing hit points, by the way. So yep, there we see a similar picture. They have everything so low, it's honestly ridiculous. 7 kills to 10. They saved their bottom keep. And all of the keeps here super low. But they're still standing. And now there's a chance for a Dragon Knight because Zul is dead again. So they got mirrored in at the top. They're trying down here at the bottom. This is a ridiculous game. It is absolutely ridiculous. There's the Dragon Knight. The Saboteurs, they're gonna win it, aren't they? I think the Saboteurs are actually gonna win it now. They're gonna go for keep and core with a 28-minute Dragon Knight until it's somehow getting chunked away here. I cannot believe this is happening. The Raiders, in my eyes, should have won this time and time again, but they just can't. So, yep, there we go. And this could be it. Unless, of course, Muradin dies. Muradin dies, the keep is gone, and Kerrigan just right-clicks the core. Doesn't give a shit. Right-click for victory. That's exactly what they're going for now. Right-click it, try and take it down. Rest of the team comes in too. They should be able to grab this. 11 kills, 2-7, and it's a victory. It's a win. Saboteurs take it, and it's a 2-1 lead for the blue team after a ridiculous game on Shire. Game number 4. We are on Sky Temple. Well, we will be. We're on the draft for Sky Temple. And 42 heroes are now banned out. Let's go. Well, with that, we now have, of course, still... How many heroes do we still have left? Roughly 50. Not quite. 48. Plenty. 30 heroes have been banned. 12 heroes are permabanned for the qualifier. So, yes, we're definitely starting to thin out the hero pool a little bit. And for Sky Temple, I mean, let me actually think this through a bit. So, do we have any globals available still? I don't think we do. Maybe Forster? Has Forster been played? The Vikings are still up. And I guess we could also... I mean, honestly, at some point I just want to see the Butcher and a little bit of fresh meat here. But I'm taking whatever I can get. They're banning out some of the big boys already. Some of the real full meta tanks that we have in the pool. Nubarak and Jojo. Greymane gets banned as well. Yeah, we were talking about globals. Illidan is still up. Tyrael is up as another tank, just as a bit of a side note here too. So we could actually see Illidan coming into the game. But of course the Vikings get banned. It's actually a little bit sad, but I didn't expect anything else. I was not quite certain who would ban the Vikings. I'm not sure if they're really first pick material, despite the fact that we're on map number 4. But it was pretty much a given that the Vikings would get the axe. So, yeah. So, well, what are we getting as our first pick now? Now that we're actually in the draft itself. There's the birdie. Okay, so that also answers my question. I was kind of sure that Falster wasn't played yet, but not 100%. Okay, so we got the bird already locked in, and that gives us the next double pick. I'm really curious to see what we're getting, because I expect that one team comes now in with a pretty cool strategy here. We have a lot of mages still up. Well, one is already getting picked, Jaina, but I could, for example, see Gul'dan coming in. We could also get Kel'Thas if a team is looking to stack CC and get a gravity lapse and all of these things. But yeah, it could be a lot of fun now. Tyrael still being up allows for a lot of interesting plays too. I mean, you could also go for some full YOLO Tyrael Sanctification with Illidan. You could pair him with Judgment. Get Hinterland Blast into the action. Come in with Judgment and Hinterland Blast. Sven locks in Zeratul, and we have Malfurion. Yeah, I'm all here for this. I am absolutely here for this. Bad Benny with ETC. ETC is so hit or miss. We've seen so many good ETC games, and then sometimes he just gets farmed like crazy. Now, obviously, there's also the case that we have with ETC now a hero that you can play in the main tank role and in the side laner role. So they can stack up a couple of others here as well. Leo getting the axe. So, yep, he's banned too. And, well, with that, what is our final ban for this map? A match point, by the way, so just in case it wasn't quite clear, this is best of 5, so if the Saboteurs lock in a W, then they win qualifier number 3. The Raiders, on the other hand, they would have to win 2 in a row. Karazim, the bald boy, is being banned out. Yeah, don't want foils, don't want Karazim jumping around here, limiting that a bit. They themselves have Malfurion, so they're going to be fine. Still plenty of healers around. They're not going to have to resort to Lily, for example. But I still want to see some spicy picks now. Game number 4, we should see, we should have some action. Sonya's still available, and we got Auriel, okay. So Auriel coming in with a couple of whip plays again. We get Sonya on top of that too. And after Zeratul and Falstad have now been chosen early, it's time for Johan and Gia to get their picks. Bring it, baby! What are we going for? I am all here for it, but I need something from Gia. Give me something, my friend. Yeah, Mal'Ganis and Gul'dan. That's actually a good point. Mal'Ganis was banned out earlier, so they tried to remove that from Johan. This time they let it through. Of course he's going to pick it. Again, Tyrael was an option as well. Gul'dan kind of called it already a bit earlier that he would be a nice mage to choose. So we're still fairly okay. Now with Rutsu as our final pick. Yeah, once we get more pre-bans in, game number 4 is going to get a lot spicier, but already we're off to a nice start here. We had Cho'Gall in game number 1. We had Cho'Gall, Samura, Zagara in game number 1. That definitely impacted things. Here comes Tigers. That leaves a few more up for game number 4. So now we're heading into Sky Temple. Match point number 1, ladies and gentlemen, for the Saboteurs. Game number 4, let's go! Saboteurs against the Raiders. It is match point for the blue team. We get Hazu Ops on Sonya this time. We have Dino on Jaina, Bad Benny on ETC, Yasuo on Auriel for the whip, and Rutsu on Tychus. Over on the right side of the map, we get the Raiders with Sven on Zeratul. Nano, look at that. Saki build for Gul'dan. Goes straight into some Drain Talons. So let's see how much he can do with that. We can burn him down. And well, at the same time, we got Hunter Orc on Malfurion. We got Johan on Mal'Ganis and Gia on Falstad. So let's go. Vision has already been claimed. Fairly straightforward and easily up at the top. And all the way Yeah, down at the bottom of the map, they're already trying to burn through this at least a little bit, with Nano just trying to burn this down slowly. Gets the side wall gone, so that's already a bit of a win. In the middle of the map, they're also going for the same move right now. Just little skirmishes at the beginning as each team is trying to get an advantage on structures, and of course hopes to get a quick and dirty kill by setting up a bit of a gank. Now, we have the bot lane already a bit damaged, and on Sky Temple, as usual, the rule is still holding true. If you are able to take structures down simply by using your heroes and not resorting to the objective itself, you are in for a pretty good game normally. Now, taking a tower down or dropping it to half HP is obviously not going to do all of that just yet, but you're working one structure at a time. Teamfights are still going to be heavily important here. We also have, with Zeratul going into the Might of the Nerazim build, now a chance to wreck the backline later. Oriel would be a prime target. Jaina, particularly as long as she doesn't have her ice block, then even more so than before. And yeah, should be an interesting one. Particularly with Zeratul. I love Zeratul games. Zeratul games are always fun. I said it just the other day that I'm super impressed with how well teams have been tracking Zeratul's movements whenever he was picked. So Zeratul has not had a good track record in these qualifiers for Meta Madness. But yeah, either way, what we're getting right now is, of course, quite a little bit of damage done here. We already have the Bigger They Are as a level 4 talent. We continue with the build here as the health funnel is kicking in. We got hammer gains and the psionic strength, Sonya with slams as usual. And down at the bottom of the map, Johan is also trying his best to keep those siege giants alive a bit longer, make Harzob's life living hell, and take some of those structures out. So things are looking pretty okay. I mean, at this point, ooh, Jaina. Yeah, already Zeratul doing his thing. Starting to take them down. Nano gets attacked up at the top. Is likely gonna fall here. I mean, he can run, he can't hide, and they catch him eventually. So both of the mages have now died once and been taken out here. And yeah, Zeratul is already moving in with Falstad for the camp. So they are trying to control the map a little bit and steal this away too. But I like it. It's exactly what we're hoping for. Early aggression, teams looking for quick kills. This is one of the cool things when you can actually go for some more out-of-the-box drafts. This is, on the other hand, a bit of a concern. With that extra damage that they're getting onto the top fort, it means that ETC claiming control over the top temple will destroy this easily. And the blue team has already started off quite nicely with shots fired through the middle and the top lane. So they're getting a ton out of the first objective rotation here. So, yep, there it is. Benny getting more and more shots fired. I mean, they're getting a ton. They're really getting a ton. They've been doing so much damage early on already with their heroes, and it's really paying off for them right now. Johan is currently trying to at least pay them back in the middle as he gets the hit here. Once again, Yasuo has to be a bit careful. Should get another heal out in a second. We need more hopium for him. Yep, Oriel is working on hope. I mean, all that she has to do these days to fill up the tank quickly is go to the Heroes of the Storm subreddit and fill up on all the hopium that people have. It's like, oh, but Microsoft, they're going to save the game. Microsoft. HTC will be back 2025. If Oriel just takes a look at the front page, she's going to have full energy for the rest of the series. More than that, probably. There's so much hopium and copium around that it lasts you for a lifetime. I mean, honestly, that would be amazing. Just think about it. Yasuo is low on hope, and then somebody comes in and whispers in his ear, Microsoft is gonna save everything. And bing, the entire thing is full. Oh, poor Zeratul getting destroyed. So yeah, they're also going down for Nano here, trying to take him on. So let's see if they can maybe destroy Gul'dan as well. Ah, sucky build, best build. Goes in and drains it, and both of them die. Both of them going down. 3 kills to 2. Gul'dan crushing it. Yep. Curse of Exhaustion, Health Funnel, and the Chaotic Energy. And that one, I don't think they saw that coming. They thought they had that kill, and he's just like, nope. Oh god, best build for sure. So, level 10 is in, we got Might of the Nerazim. He's not quite done with his stacks yet on level 1, so he needs a bit more in order to get out of the mobility. We have Gul'dan also with Horrify. Gust obviously is out. And yeah, kills and experience, they're a little bit ahead, so the Raiders are doing well. But of course, the bigger question is, how is it looking on structures as this continues? ETC now with Stage Dive, and we have Aegis for Oriel. With, I mean, I know you're shocked, but Tychus has actually gone into Odin. You have actually no idea how much it just pained me to see some of the teams in the last Korean tournament go for Drill. That was such a disaster. Like, oh boy, thankfully that was only the early rounds, but yeah, multiple games with Drill and it was painful to watch. Thankfully here we have Odin. Back in the day, Drill was actually good. You could really try and drill hard, but now it's just absolutely nothing that you get out of it. It's kind of surprising to me, by the way, that they're just giving up on the bot lane completely. But Benny has been taking the shots here for absolutely free, wasn't contested or anything. And even if he has to move back right now, they already get the majority of the shots and they're just getting farther and farther ahead on structures. And that's already the problem in the first place. So, yeah. Benny gets attacked, jumps out, and immediately goes in with a slide as they're going for Nano. Nano gets attacked, drops the Horrify, might still fall. Sucky, sucky, sucky. And he kills ETC. This must suck so hard. You isolate him, and then he just goes in. Drain, drain, and you're dead. They just lost 3 heroes to this. 3 heroes are gone. They go for Gul'dan and Nano just goes and everybody dies. So yeah, 6 kills to 2. But yeah, it's just glorious. They need a stun or something. They need to just knock him out. You have to do something against this. But they're giving up more ground, and with the level advantage, I mean, I'm okay with game number 5, don't get me wrong. But if you're the Saboteurs, you really need to somehow deal with that properly. So, yeah. Over here, Zeratul is already moving in. Dainu, and again, they're tracking him perfectly. Hazorps comes in and takes him on. Zeratul is dead. Dainu survived. So they get their kills, and now they go for boss. So I kind of like that. This is actually really well done. They go for boss quickly, they pop Odin, they're not taking any risks here. The opponent has a level 13 talent, but Zeratul isn't here. At the same time, you have Odin out, so can really keep them at bay. That's 8 minutes of a boss that they have, and they can go for a kill. And this time Gul'dan is gone. This time they actually kill him. And they might even follow up with more than that, because Malfurion is also not looking too good here. And that is a neat double kill. It allows them to go also for a quick drop on the fort. They don't have anything topside, so that's a bit of a problem, because Falstad is pushing this out and is working on the wall. But they're not even stopping. With the boss nearly on full HP, they want to break through the wall down here at the bottom of the map. And as I said before, every single structure that you can take out without your opponent getting, well, without resorting to temples is awesome. So they're getting a lot done here. There's no mule in this game, there's no Abathur or anything, so all that damage that they're taking down here is helping, and temples are activating in 22 seconds. If they get shots through the bottom temple, they can soon take that keep. I mean, okay, they have to go through the fort in the middle first, but yeah, that was a massive push from the Saboteurs. This made up for a lot of the problems that they had previously. So they're looking very good on this. They have now 22,000 for Tychus. We have Sonya at the bottom of the map taking the shots, and again, obviously fired into the mid lane first. But even this fort, even losing that is going to be an issue. Now, it's not like the blue team hasn't lost any structures. Now, with the top temple taken, they're going to lose the fort at the top. They're likely going to lose the one in the middle as well. But as long as Sonya is holding on to this, she's going to get the bottom keep. And it's not contested. So yes, the fort is about to be destroyed. This one's gone. And this is going to annihilate the keep at the bottom of the map. So it's a perfect situation, honestly, for the Saboteurs. They're not massively ahead. They have a slight advantage in experience, and they're slightly ahead in structures now. But this is obviously just really, really good for particularly the next couple of minutes. Once the boss is up, for example, there's a big threat towards the core of the Raiders, and they will have to respond to whatever happens around the boss. So level 16 is also close. That's another advantage that they have now over the opponent's team. We'll see how the Raiders react to it. Raiders need to win 2 in a row. Just in order to make sure that they have game number 5 up, they need to lock in a W here. And if they want to crown themselves the champion of qualifier number 3, yeah, you got to go all the distance. You got to win 2 in a row. Another tower is already down. Again, every single structure you take out matters. Every single one of them. There's another double temple coming up soon. Level 16 talents just mean that the Raiders have to stay back. Nano has now gone into Harvest life as well. So even more drain life against heroes. So if you already thought that the build was annoying before, then yeah, think again, because now it's actually worse. But okay, we got 11 minutes on the clock. Afterburner for Falstad. Blind as a bat for Mal'Ganis. And the next 2 temples are gonna get announced very soon here. As, of course, at the top, still a little bit of damage done. Nothing too insane happening over here, but yeah, we still have the fight breaking out as Gul'dan has to come over here and start to make a bit of a move. There's the Horrify already out. Oh, this could be the end of Jaina and of a lot more, because they get the kill on Tychus, and that is how they come back into the game. Auriel gone, Tychus gone, Jaina gone. She at least got her quest reward, but that quick triple kill is allowing the team in red to now bring this one back easily. I mean, honestly, this is the dream for them right now. If they get both of the temples, they can easily take out some of the structures on the other side. And this is the perfect comeback into this series for them, or at least into the map. Now, shots get fired on both sides. Death timers are still at 10 seconds, so this is looking fantastic. ETC has pushed out the bot lane a bit. Sonya is coming in. Harzops is just waiting. Can maybe help out a bit here. Yeah, but misses the spear, so kind of unlucky. Shots are being fired, and now the keeps are taking damage. And that's true for the keep at the top, and it's soon going to be also true for the keep in the middle. So if they want to prevent them from drawing even here, they got to do something about it. Falstad has already moved back here. They're starting to move into the middle. But the next problem is, of course, that the experience advantage has now gone over to the blue team. Sorry, the red team. So they have more than a half-level lead now as well. Aegis is out again. Jaina gets isolated and gets just blown to pieces by Gul'dan. So she's dead too. ETC is down. That's 11 kills to 5. And the Saboteurs are just falling apart here. There's a Horrify, and it's going to cost Auriel her life. Yaz is about to go down, and now the boss is up. So now you still have Temple at the top, and you have a boss available. And you're half a level away from 20. Guys, the Raiders are absolutely murdering it right now. They're really starting to force game, or well, they're trying to force game number 5 here. And it's looking better every single second. A little bit of damage done as Hazo is at least getting control over the top Temple to give his team something. But this is only nibbling away at the wall. And with the boss at the bottom of the map, they are threatening the first keep down here. They're even going for Siege Giants right now. And of course, there's another 20 seconds until Auriel is back. They have the level 20 talents now, which gives us the Shadow Stride. We have the Wind Tunnel ready for them. And bam, if they're getting kills here now as well and can stagger those deaths even further, that would of course be... Oh, Jesus, they're actually pulling it off. They get Tychus destroyed just as Auriel is about to come back. Yeah, staggered deaths right now, this is bad news for the Saboteurs. They're in real danger of losing this game right here. If there's another kill coming in now for the Raiders, then yeah, Saboteurs are going to be toast. But the boss is getting burnt down pretty quickly. 14 minutes in, so the game is still fairly young. But yeah, that's the keep gone. Don't think they can necessarily go for the core here unless they get another kill. But they are looking to see if they can grab it. And Dino is low. ETC, yeah, core is actually losing hit points. Wind Tunnel has been used, and that's game. Guys, just like that, that's game. They take it, they claim victory. We're going to game number 5. The Raiders take down the Saboteurs on Sky Temple. GG. Well, I guess we're going all the way here. Infernal Shrines, map number 5. Personally, I didn't expect to be here, I'm gonna be honest. especially considering how the Saboteurs started things off on game number 4. It was pretty impressive with the boss going straight for the keep and taking that down, but then they dropped the ball and the Raiders were more than happy to pick it up and to run the game. So we have the final map here, which means that 52 heroes are now banned. 52 heroes banned out, and let's see how this is gonna impact the draft. 40 heroes were already banned at 4 maps. 12 heroes are perma-banned for this. So now they definitely need to start to think outside the box a bit more here. Now, Joanna gets banned again. Wouldn't really be surprised to see also Hanamura getting the axe, because those are... Well, Greyman is also up. So, yeah, to be quite honest, you are starting to run into territory where you really have to think through, hey, which hero are we okay with? And which one do we have to ban out? Because there's still a couple of real high priority picks that are still available. So what do you ban? And they ban Leo. They leave both of them up. They leave Greymane up and they leave Hanamura up. So Alexstrasza gets picked first on Infernal Shrines. Yep. Ah, God, this is gonna be good. Now, keep in mind that we had in game number 1 already some crazy picks, right? So definitely something to keep in mind, because we are not going to see Samuro, we're not going to see Zagara, we're not going to see Cho'Gall here. All of those heroes were already played. There is still a lot of stuff up, though. And the teams are, as you can tell, definitely debating on what the proper picks here are. And we get Morales. Are we seeing a backdoor build? Is Tyrael now getting banned or picked? Greymane Morales. We have a pocket healer already. And, I mean, if they don't pick or ban Tyrael, you could technically with this go for a backdoor strategy. I don't really think that anybody is going to play this in game number 5 of a grand final, even if it's just a qualifier. But you never know. Atanis for Dainu, Diva for Hazorps. Yeah, we're going all out on this one. We definitely are. But every single time that you see Morales, alarm bells should be ringing. Now, to tell you the truth, even if they would get Tyrael and would try and go for backdoor, if you have Atanis and Diva, you can already start to use Atanis' ult, and you can use Diva to create some space, and it makes it much harder to take these keeps and cores down if you're trying to backdoor with Morales flying in. So there's already good heroes against that. Just to tell you that the strategy, even if they get their picks, might not quite work out for them. Lulnara gets banned. Arthas gets also taken out here. Okay. Nubarak is still up. Is he up? Every single time we're heading into game number 4, game number 5, like there's so many maps and they're just like blend together today. We've been here for like how many hours? It's nearly midnight here. So yeah, we've been here for nearly 8 hours with this. And there is just tons of stuff going on. So Nubarak should still be up. So you could go for him or Tyrael. I mean, make your choice right now. But Tyrael could be played. They go Imperious and they go Kelthas. Kelthas, Ashalanore, Salami. God, yeah, I would love some salami. A nice sandwich with some salami and pepperoni. Oh, God, I am so hungry. You have no idea. This was a very, very long day. But okay, Kelthas and Imperious. Benny and Rutsu. Our final 2 picks for the blue team. Stitches and Provius. They can go Alexstrasza, Globe Talent, and Stitches Globe Talent. There's your chance to go for it. Get that big, beefy hit point pool for Stitches. And for Sven, we got the final pick. Imperious main tank, I assume. Illidan. Morales with the heals for Illidan and Greymane. Guys, game number 5. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We're heading into Infernal Shrines, the final map in the grand final. Which team takes the victory and wins qualifier number 3? Let's find out. Game number 5, Hazorps on Diva for the blue team, Dainu on Artanis, Yasu with Alexstrasza, and no, Benny, no, don't screw it up. Not Patchwork Creation, you have Alexstrasza with you. Give me the globe combo at least once, you already picked the heroes, like what are you doing here? No, not like this. Nope. And we got Probius played by Rutsu. Benny, I hate you a little bit right now. This could have been awesome. Sven on Illidan. We got Nano on Kel'Thas. Hunter Orc on Morales. Johan playing Imperius. And Gia playing Greymane. It is a sad day in the Nexus. It is a sad, sad day. They got Alex Straza and Stitches, and they're not going for the full globe fiesta. It is just sad. But then again, having Benny attacked immediately, and he's not the only one. Alex Straza gets punished for a talent choice, and rightfully so. Wrong talent, and you get death as a result. Yeah, and Benny probably too. This is the punishment that we need. A round of applause for them. Absolutely, that's fine. Pick shitty talents, get shitty results. Fuck around and find out. That's what we're going for here. So, it seems like the Raiders are absolutely game to gain early momentum. Probius is now also sitting tight here. But yeah, wrong talents taken and they get immediately punished for it. It's 3 kills to 0 already. Good start for Illidan, of course, as well. He's getting his stacks together here, sitting at 5. We have also some extra globes for Kel'Thas. Our man is obviously going to try and get Mana Addict completed as quickly as possible. Get some extra safety. But yeah, who takes the victory? This is the 5th map in the grand final. And I cannot believe that we're going the distance here. And it is once again just a statement of how strong the Raiders got here. But again, let's see what Illidan can do as the game continues, as the map opens up, as some of those forts get destroyed, maybe even as a couple of keeps. And we're up for the chase. There comes the quick hit against Diva. Hazu is already losing that. And oof, Pilot also in trouble for just a moment. Now Stitch is obviously not going to have the biggest impact just yet. Even after, I mean, honestly, I think he's going to go for Putic Bile here. Looking at the plays that they have, I mean, what are you going to go with Gorge? You're not going to get a lot out of it. There's no real follow-up for that. Talk about follow-up. Up here at the top, it is Artanis that gets murdered. Dino, of course, turns into a bit of a punching bag with Artanis and is buying some time for the rest of the team. We get now the Energy Royal and Illidan. Not too bad. I mean, again, 11 stacks already. Hunter's Onslaught on level 4. We have now the Cellular Reactor for Morales. It's actually kind of funny to see Morales in the game. It's going to be pretty sweet during these team fights to see what exactly she's going to do. There's going to be a focus on Illidan. Now we're going to switch over to Greymane here. We have Exuberance for Alex Straza. But with those 4 kills, there's also a fairly decent amount of extra experience that the Raiders have now. And as we all know, when we are talking about the first objective, particularly on this map, it's all about level 7. And at this pace, the Raiders are going to be the one to take level 7 first. So, yeah, this is going to be big. 13 stacks. I mean, Kel'Thas is crushing it. Kel'Thas is super fast with the stacking. He's already at 13, and if they win the objective, he would pick up another 2 easily. First of all, they have to gut there, of course. Yeah, Greymane and Probius. I think actually Greymane was waiting for Probius. No, Morales, no! Body blocked, and is dead. Morales is down. That's the problem when you're fighting with the numbers disadvantage. Good job by the Saboteurs, though. That should net them the first objective. Have the Dragon Queen, of course, as well. That is just a huge tool whenever it comes to a Shrine fight. So, yep, very well done. 4 kills to 1, still a lead in experience, and now the Sunfire Enchantment for Kel'Thas. Nano really likes to play that particular build variation. Even with a level 7 talent, they could not get the first Punisher. So, yeah. Red team is there, but obviously they're at 38, so this is going to be an easy one. Currently, we got the second helping over here, so with the Gambit element for him as well. And a bit of a shield, pushing Devour a bit for the extra survivability. 21 stacks, they can only force the issue, but the blue team is going to get it one way or another. Already another Gravity Lapse connects. Illidan is now at 16 stacks, same as Kel'Thas, and they gotta bait the Punisher over the wall in order to defend properly here. But honestly, it might even be a bit too late because that Punisher already has taken out most of the wall. So there could be a follow-up from Stitches, for example. They're trying to quickly destroy it, and that is where especially Greymane is going to be helpful. Probius is moving just away here. Has already gone tower defense and photon barrier. Illidan, of course, is still looking to get some additional stacks in. Unbound on level 7 for him. Still at leading experience for the Raiders. Now that hasn't changed. Raiders still with the experience, still doing their thing. Down at the bottom of the map, camps are being claimed, and D.Va dead at the top. Didn't even expect that to be possible there. So yeah, Hazu gets killed. That is kill number 5 now. And yeah, for now, as you can tell, that bottom wall is suffering. So they're coming in here. We get some extra talents now too. Level 10 kicking in. And that is nearly a level lead that they're running. No camps that they can take on the map, but maybe they can take a couple of walls out. So for now we got the stim drone. Stim drone, Greymane or Illidan. I didn't even connect the dots here. Didn't even occur to me. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty epic. So with that, they can now come in and absolutely just whack away with Illidan and his single target damage, or just Greymane. I mean, even on structures, if they at any point go for those. We have Metamorphosis, so it didn't go into the hunt. Greymane hasn't made a choice yet either. Here comes the Suppression Pulse. We're getting Pylon Overcharge. And as expected, again, Putrid Bile. Given the composition that they're playing, this was, I don't want to say given, but at least it was to be expected that they're going for that. Yeah, Devour already used, but they have to pop a lot of ults here. Putrid Bile has been used. Alexstrasza has also gone for her ult. Greymane again with the ult from Morales with Stim Drone. And they're actually about to get a kill. They take Stitches down. This is a 5 versus 4, guys. This is a 5 versus 4, and they're winning it. The Raiders are currently winning this. Illidan is still at the top. Dino apparently has a bit of a death wish as well. It goes for a pretty sweet swap, though. And that might give them a kill. Nope, they are still not able to grab this. And Illidan is doing what Illidan does. He's sitting at the top lane. He's getting himself more and more stacks together. He's pushing for structures, of course, as well. And just gets them experience. They are level ahead, 7 kills to 1. And this is looking still very solid for the Raiders. Now, of course, there was that Punisher that was taken by the Saboteurs, so if they are able to get the second one as well and just dominate the objective, good for them. But when it comes to just general map control and the way that they are dealing with team fights, then the Raiders have taken a lead here for sure. Now, Atanis is back up towards the top. Both teams, I mean, all of the forts are still in, meaning all of the fountains are still in. When we're talking about damage, then we have 22,000 for Imperius. He's top damage in the game. I mean, easily. And we got 14,000 for D.Va. So, this time it's the red team that has level 13 as a talent lead. And of course, they had level 7 earlier, so it's pretty much a similar situation. They have a talent advantage. But there's the swap on Morales. It couldn't get any better than that. Artanis with value. Fireball, fireball. And Morales goes down and so does Imperius. I mean, damn. I would feel trolled. If I'm the Raiders, I'd feel trolled at this point. Dino comes in, hits the perfect swap, exactly the one that he needs against the healer. Now against Illidan, they're getting the kills. They picked up 3, and they're now going to get not only a kill against Nano, but they're also, well, yeah, I think he should fall here. But they're going to get another Punisher too. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. He at least misses this one, but yeah, it's a bit bananas when you think about it. Because that was such a great spot for the Raiders to be in, and then it all gets destroyed by one great engage from the opponent's team. Nano gets hooked as well. At least Morales is back and can heal him up here. But, Gravity Labs too. Alright, hello. Ult is out. Yasuo keeps himself alive. But there's the delivery system, and I think this is going to be the end of Alexstrasza. So, good job. They're killing at least Alexstrasza, so at least they get that done. And down at the bottom of the map, Sven is immediately on Probius. Probius, yeah, little chance, has to retreat. And that's exactly what I meant earlier with distance to safety. It's still fairly short here, because the forts are up, but once those forts are gone, it's going to be a completely different story. 6 stacks on Unbound. We got 50 stacks for Illidan on his level 1. The topside fort has now fallen. Frozen Punisher, strong. Who knew? And they're going for Benny again. And he has to go into Putrid Bile. Gets locked down for a moment by Imperius. Yep, rest of the blue team is coming in, trying to help out. But Morales still doing her thing. So 2 objectives in a row have now been lost by the Raiders. They are still leading in kills. They have lost a fort. They've nearly lost all their forts, to be quite frank. The one in the middle is going to get destroyed sooner rather than later. The one at the bottom of the map is not looking too healthy either. So overall, the Saboteurs, they might still be a bit behind in kills and experience, but they're doing fantastic on structures. And if they win another objective, then they will very quickly start to snowball this game. Imperius is still on top damage. He's at 33,000. Khaldor is attempting to catch up with him at 28. And Johan is actually getting caught over here. Is able to use his ult for a bit of delivery. Gets hooked right away. And Morales gets the heals out. Team still totally fine there. They haven't fully committed to that yet either. But the fort in the middle is now gone. So they're losing more and more ground here, whereas Illidan is stacking and stacking and stacking. He's sitting at 53, he has level 60 now, the Blades of Azeroth are in, and Illidan always has been a late game hero. It's also one way to increase distance to safety, you just let them destroy your own forts. It's maybe not the optimum choice, but yeah. Ignite is now ready, we get the extended care, and we have Executioner. And we also have, oh, well, that blind didn't go anywhere. So, 16 versus 16. Stitches with the digestive juices. So, working more and more around Devour. And on top of that, we get the Draconic Discipline as well. With the next objective popping up, we're of course expecting to see the Dragon Queen once again in all her glory. But, can they win a fight here? They got a lot of amazing tools now. Illidan has to metamorphose out of this. Apparently he was hooked there. So the hook came through and then Illidan has to jump out. It depends really on how much damage they can do with his level 1 here. The more they're getting, I mean all of that basic attack damage, the more he's getting, the longer the game lasts, he can really rack up the numbers and start to take him down with a single target damage. But they're losing another hero. They're losing Johan. It's always the same problem. They're falling behind, and this is also coming at the time when the Shrine is activating. Now Morales is going to get killed. Mocus Forales is still working beautifully. They got the stim drone out, but only for Nano. He's trying to get away from this and still dishes out some damage. But the problem is still the same. Illidan is forced to the side lane, doing his thing. Khaldor is attempting to waste as much of that time as he possibly can. Runs into the hook though and is eventually going to fall now. Commits more or less Sudoku as he goes in here. But it bought at least some time for Illidan at the top. They are trailing. They're falling farther and farther behind, and it's really becoming a problem. At least over here, a topside fort is going to be taken out, but if this trend continues, then the Raiders are never going to be able to get into a position where they can take a proper team fight. They haven't had a real 5v5 since the second objective at the top, where they lost control immediately thanks to that quick swap from Dino. And basically all that they've been working for so far was trying to create another opportunity to go into that kind of battle, and it hasn't happened. Now Sven has a lot of single target damage as he's starting to build his level 1 up, but this might never really become a problem. Might never really become a thing. I mean, they're trying to just slow this down also, because the whole idea here is now get closer to level 20. Saboteurs have 39 stacks. 39 stacks, all they need is 1. They've taken a couple of camps. Now they go for the Arcane Punisher. They're taking a camp at the top lane, the mid lane, the bot lane. They're going for all of them here. And yeah, it is up to the Raiders to try and defend this and maybe get some kills with it. And it's not going to be easy. Khaldor is at 41,000 damage now. Artan is at 31. And yeah, the Arcane Punisher is going to wreak havoc here. They're going to get a lot of damage in. Swap attempts by Dino once more. Illidan is still at the top, by the way. Illidan is still topside. Nice gravity lapse. But Illidan needs to join if they really want to have a chance here. He needs to be the one that comes in and now chases them. Morales hooks and swaps. It's just too much for Morales to handle. Something always hits. Either it's a hook or it's a swap. Now they try to go for Stitches. He gets healed up by Alexstrasza again. Illidan low and barely gets out. That bottom keep is already destroyed. The Saboteurs with level 20 are pressuring more and more. They have a push coming through the mid lane as they're damaging the second keep, and they're nibbling away the hit points of the core one at a time. The shield nearly gone. The middle keep is not looking good either. No matter what they walk away with here, the Saboteurs are going to have an insane lead, and they might win the game. The core is already losing hit points. Morales isn't back yet. Illidan is still doing his best, I guess. And they're pushing them back, actually. But the core is now down to 85%, and in the middle, the keep is lost. So 2 keeps are gone. And it's the lanes where the opponent still has a fort standing. So non-stop catapult pressure against absolutely 0 counter pressure. So, yeah, total disaster for the Raiders. The Raiders fought them. They came back into the series time and time again. I mean, initially they even took the lead, but then they brought it back on Sky Temple, and they had a nice start into this map too. Let's not forget about that. They were leading with, what, 4 kills to 0 and then 5-1. But right now they're waiting for level 20, and then they have to force a fight and just pray that they somehow have a chance there. And I'm not so sure if they actually do. So yep, level 20 is in, Stim Drone gets upgraded, we get the Flamethrower, we got the Hyperactivity, Demonic Form. Yeah, and is that going to be enough? I don't know. They need a big teamfight victory. There needs to be a big team fight, or it's going to be lights out. 70 stacks now for Illidan on level 1, 37 for Kalthas. But they need a proper fight. Every fight they've started so far, it's the same. Morales gets killed super early, gets caught either by a hook or by an Artanis swap, by one of them, and they just cannot force a proper battle. And time is working heavily in favor of the Raiders, and they know it too. All they gotta do is delay, 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 delay. It's all they have to do at the end of the day now. Or Catapults are gonna win this one way or another. Ult already popped out by Alexstrasza. Those heals are just insane. They're absurd. They're absolutely absurd. If they make it through, then yeah. And the cooldown is not really that big either. Catapults at the top are slowly coming in. We have catapults now at the bottom of the map, catapults in the middle, and they're forcing the fight for that very reason once again. They go for Bad Benny. They try and take him out here. There's a good stun, and Benny is gone. Alright, they get 1 kill, but that is definitely not going to be enough. They need a lot more than that. They might be okay taking Dino down here, but he survives as well. Takes a bit more damage from Kalthas, but they already have to retreat, at least with some of their heroes, to make sure that this core is not going to fall to Winions. So yeah, the damage is there. Greymane is ready to defend it. Core is not going to lose the shield even, but we are only 17 minutes into the game. But thanks to the kill against Stitches, they now have a chance to go for an objective. I think they would have preferred a different lane than the top lane, because that's the one where they already killed a fort. But yeah, maybe here. The jump, nah, he missed it. He has still an ult available. Still has his ult, doesn't use it right now, and after they've been moving them back a little bit, they now have to go up towards the top again to try and see if they can maybe lock in that Punisher. It's also a frozen Punisher, so that would at least help you to go maybe for the core. But look at Greymane, he just has to rotate between lanes now because there's too much catapult pressure that they gotta deal with. And what they really have to do is take at least these forts out. Fort in the middle and the fort at the bottom of the map. Once they are gone, they at least have the occasional catapult spawning. But right now they have nothing. And this is going to end the game in the long run in favor of the Saboteurs. So you gotta take some structures down. Stitches is back. Topside fight. They're ready and good to go. And this is a chance where if Illidan survives, they can start to come in and really take some heroes down. Hazu loses the mech for now. Dragon Queen is ready, so they might have to wait that out. And Imperius has been doing damage, but it's just not enough. He's at 83,000, which is pretty respectable, but they need kills. It's kills they need, and it's an objective. They fall short on kills, but they are able to get the Frozen Punisher. Okay, Frozen Punisher's in. In the middle, D.Va is trying to push this out, already moving down to the bottom of the map too. So somebody will have to deal with that. Illidan is taking most of those walls out as well, and is working more and more damage in. 78 stacks for him now. So the single target damage is really going to be something. But there's another double catapult now down at the bottom of the map. Imperius is not with them. So now the chance to take some of these structures out, especially Illidanus, of course. I mean, just look at the damage that he's getting out there. As this continues and he's picking up more, they might have a chance to take some keeps out. But they need to also destroy these forts for the reason mentioned earlier. I mean, just look at the minimap. All those lanes are pushed against them. Unless, of course, they're going to try and go for core here. But I don't know if they can really make that happen. And they're trying. Illidan is actually going for it. Full YOLO. Catapults on the core. I'm not sure if they're asking too much here. I really think they're asking too much. Greymane is already gone. Now they go for Sven. He jumps out. The core loses hit points, but I don't think it loses enough. Do they have a chance? Can they make it happen somehow? 60%. Morales is gone. 40. No, it's 39%. And the Winions are ending the game. They were taking a risk, it was a Hail Mary, and it backfired. 39%, and now with only 24 left, the Winions, they are going to end it, and if not, it's going to be the team. So, yep, 17%, there's the 13. Here come the Saboteurs as they claim victory in the grand final of qualifier number 3 for Meta Madness. The Raiders, they knew that in the long run they would lose it. They threw a Hail Mary, it backfired, but at least a worthy attempt. Congratulations, though, to the Saboteurs for winning qualifier number 3.